Here's a look at your market recap on this Thursday, the 19th day of December. Take a look at what's going on at the auction barns around the state today. Mid-Missouri stockyards looks like a lighter run there, probably about 600 head or so by the time they're all done. A lot of smaller drafts, quality not as good as seen in previous weeks, which this is the case across many of the barns, as most guys have already sold their high-quality calves and just kind of getting through some smaller drafts before the holidays there. It looks like their market unevenly steady at the Mocan livestock market. Looks like about 500-600 head there as well today. They did have one pot load of steers, 995 pounds, sold at $239. That's just shy of $2,400 per head. New Cambria livestock market saw a stick out sell there, 30 head of 609-pound steers at $326.50. Box beef cutout values. Choice closed sharply higher, $320.69, up $5.85. Select at $284.11, down $1.44. Those values based on 98 loads of cuts, trimmings, and grinds, and the Choice Select spread setting at $36.58. Few more reported negotiated sales today, up to 33,000 head for the week. Seems like just a handful here and there in some of the feeding regions about every day this week. Haven't had any big trade break yet. Most of the sales just fallen kind of within steady money of last week. Zero trades so far in Texas. Nothing reported in that feeding region so far this entire week. Kansas has had some light trade, live sales, mostly at 191, a few dress sales at 305. Iowa and Nebraska, they've seen trade mostly at 195 to 195.50. There's been a little bit of a range on either side of that there. Dress sales mostly at 305. Again, a slight range above and below that. But for the most part, again, sales looking steady at best, although some of the feed yards continuing to hold out, hoping for a bit more money before the week closes tomorrow. Taking a look at the closing futures markets. No good news there in the cattle complex today. December, live cattle, 190.35, down 95. February, 186.55, down 177. January, feeder cattle, 254.47, down 252. March at 254.57, down 280. Lean hogs, February down 7, 83.62. April, 88.62, down 27. The further out months, a few pennies higher on the close today. Turning our attention now to the grain markets. At the elevators around the state, soybeans were 6 to 11 higher, wheat 8 lower, corn 4 to 16 higher, and milo 2 to 7 lower. Corn bids at the elevators in St. Louis, $4.54 to $4.56. Kansas City, $4 to $4.42. Grain sorghum in St. Louis, $4.45. Kansas City, $4.25. Soybean bids, St. Louis, $9.97 to $9.99. Kansas City, $9.08 to $9.58. Wheat bids, St. Louis, $5.33 to $5.55. Kansas City, $4.98. On the board of trade, March corn, 3.5 higher, 4.40 3/4. May at 4.46 1/4, up 2.5. January beans, 11 1/4 higher, 9.63. March at 9.66 1/2, up 13 1/4. Wheat for March, 8 1/4 higher, 5.33. May at 5.43 1/2, up 8 1/4. Soybean meal for January, up $4.60 a ton at 284.10. Soybean oil for January, 40.01 a hundredweight, up 46 cents. With the Missouri Department of Agriculture, that's a recap of your markets from Thursday. This is Tony Hancock.